Hey everybody! Alright, tomorrow is the day my family and I are flying to Hawaii for Christmas. We're going to spend 2 weeks there and I'm beyond excited. The only part I have a little hard time with is the flight. To be honest, I was never afraid of flying. I actually really enjoyed flying. I loved turbulence, I loved the takeoff, I loved landing. Everything about it was so fun for me and I had no fears around it whatsoever. The fear crept in once I became a mom. And I hear this from many women. Once you become a mom, fears just become more of your everyday emotion. You're constantly worried about things happening to your kids or things happening to you. And so I've really had to do a lot of work on taming my fears so that they don't consume me, so that I am living in peace and happiness and contentment. The fears all start with the mind. So over the years, I have been doing extensive work on managing my mind and my thoughts, and I've realized that we have so much control and power over our emotions and even fear. There's practices, there's things that you can do to overcome certain fears that you might have. 9 years ago, I was pregnant with my second baby, and that's when I realized that I was suddenly afraid of flying. I was on an airplane with my daughter, and I was pregnant, and I was with my husband. We experienced a little bit of turbulence, just like normal, maybe a little more than normal, but it was nothing to be concerned about. Every time I looked at the flight attendants, they all seemed fine. They were just chatting away. They were buckled up, but they were chatting away like there was nothing wrong. So that was one thing that comforted me, is to know that the flight attendants, they do this for a living, and if there was anything to be concerned about, they'd probably look scared too. So that was one of my biggest tips, is to always look at the flight attendants and they usually seem calm and collected, and that is instantly one thing that helps me anytime I'm feeling a little bit nervous or anxious. So 9 years ago is when I first discovered anxiety and a slight panic attack on an airplane, and so ever since then I've always had this slight fear of flying, but I'm determined to travel the world, to continue flying in an airplane, and to overcome this fear. So I wanted to share a list of 5 things that I do that helps me maintain a sense of calm and peace throughout the duration of my flight. And these things totally have helped me so much. So number 1, I would highly recommend planning out the flight. So our flight, we're flying direct to Hawaii, so it's a 7-hour flight. I'm going with the whole family, so I've got my 4 kids and my husband. And so I have taken the time to really plan out the flight by the hour. So for every hour, I know exactly what I'm going to be doing during that 7-hour flight. So basically my schedule entails a lot of reading, working on YouTube videos, editing them, some writing. I could write in my journal. I could write different thoughts or create different captions for my Instagram posts, listen to Audible, watch a movie, listen to music, meditate, play games with my kids. I mean, there's so many different ideas, but the important part is to just write out a list by the hour and know, so that you know exactly what you're going to be doing during your flight, so that you are focused on the task and not just sitting there letting your mind go crazy thinking of all the worst case scenarios. So keep yourself busy, keep your mind busy. I would highly recommend writing out a page of affirmations. If you want to see my page of affirmations, I've typed it all out, and I've created a printable for any of you. If you'd like to use my affirmations, then you can go to my blog, wannabebalance.com/airplane affirmations. And you can print out these affirmations and put it in your pocket. Anytime you're feeling a little bit nervous, pull out your affirmations and read them. It's important to maintain control of your thoughts. Don't ever allow them to go to that scary place of worst case scenario, because 99.9% of the time, the worst case scenarios never happen. So you have to remember that first and foremost, that your brain will go crazy, and if you allow it to think about anything scary, it's just going to increase your anxiety levels. So maintain focus on your affirmations, on staying busy. Some of the things that I like to think about, or that I write in my affirmations, are about the worst case scenario. So I will affirm that the airplane is totally built for this. It's built for intense wind. I like to do a little bit of research on the durability of the airplane, of the wings, and of the expertise of the pilot and the flight attendants. I just like to affirm that millions of people have flown on an airplane and they've all survived and they get to their destination just fine. There's people that fly every single day and there's really nothing to worry about. So I try to focus on the safety of the actual airplane. And the other thing that really helps me is, I think the number one fear that people have, aside from public speaking, is dying. So I like to remind myself that there's nothing to be feared when it comes to dying. I know this sounds very morbid and like absolutely worst case scenario, but if you can get to the root of what your fear is and resolve it, you'll feel much better. So what has really helped me is to really spend some time on overcoming my fear of dying. I've watched a lot of near-death experiences on YouTube. There's so many beautiful stories, and every one of them always say how amazing it is after you die. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's the most peaceful, loving experience they've ever had, and they are welcomed with this love and this euphoric feeling of ecstasy. So I just like to remind myself that there is nothing to fear when it comes to dying. So if you can overcome that deepest, darkest fear, which is of dying, then you'll realize that that can have a huge impact on your overall anxiety and fear with anything in life. So that's one thing that I've really tried to get a handle on, is my fear of dying. So I highly recommend watching near-death experiences and getting to that place of comfort and peace around dying and knowing that there's nothing to be afraid of, especially if you're with your family. Yeah, so just get to that place of knowing that you're safe, everything is okay, no matter what happens, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and there's nothing to be afraid of. I also like to think about my guardian angel, my spirit guides. I really believe in spirit guides, so I like to envision my guardian angel and my spirit guides watching over me, even there for me when I am feeling a little bit of anxiety or nervousness. I close my eyes, take a deep breath, and try to feel their presence and them offering me comfort and reminding me that I'm okay, I'm safe, there's nothing to be afraid of. Number 3 is, for sure, bring your headphones. Headphones are amazing because not only are you going to be able to stay busy by watching movies, listening to Audible, or listening to music, but it will drown out any of the noises that you will hear on an airplane that sometimes may trigger some fear, you know? For me, it's the fasten seatbelt sign. Whenever that ding goes on and I know that the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign and they come on the intercom and they say, okay, we're going to hit a little bit of turbulence. Everybody needs to get in their seats and fasten their seatbelts. I don't like to hear that. I just keep my seatbelt on the whole time anyway. So I don't like to hear that. For some reason, it just kind of like gets me a little tense and a little worried about what's ahead. But when I can drown out any of the sounds in the actual airplane, and even when the pilot comes on, I know that my husband is listening. So if there's anything that I need to know, he will let me know. So I trust that my husband has it. My husband is listening and paying attention to anything that I might need to know. But I can keep my headphones in, drown out any of the noise in the airplane. So yes, definitely headphones. Make sure you have them with you, have them available, and possibly even keep them in your ears the whole time and just stay busy watching movies, listening to music, drowning out all the noise inside the cabin. Number 4 is to meditate. Meditation is my new best friend. I have become so passionate about the benefits of meditation over the last 6 months. I've really been making it a daily practice. I've been learning how amazing it is for the body, for fears, for anxiety, for stress, everything that we experience that is negative. Meditation can usually lift us right out of that negative emotion. So I would highly recommend starting your day before you fly with a good session of meditation, and then once you get on the airplane, do another session of meditation, and then anytime you feel a little bit of turbulence, also turn on your headphones, get some meditation music in your ear, focus on your breathing, read your affirmations, think positive thoughts. One thing that really helps me during turbulence is to remember, first of all, that the airplane is built for that. Second of all, turbulence is normal. You will probably experience turbulence and it's totally fine. There's nothing to be afraid of. Like I told you, when I first started flying, when I was younger and single, I loved the feeling of turbulence. It felt like being on a roller coaster, just a little bit of like going on hills. I love roller coasters. I'm not afraid. I know I'm safe. I know that the roller coasters are durable. They're built for that. We got seatbelts on. Everything is okay. You got that feeling in your stomach and you enjoy it when you're on a roller coaster. But for some reason, in an airplane, we get all tense. So if you can just imagine that you are on a roller coaster and the plane is fine. Everything is fine. The plane is built for that. You don't need to worry about turbulence. Just enjoy the feeling in your stomach, the tickles, the ride. Just enjoy the ride. And one thing that has really been so powerful for me is one quote that I heard about 6 months ago. In the book, The Big Leap, I read a quote and it has changed my life. Seriously. The quote is, "Fear is excitement without the breath." And I use this all the time because I'm reminded that fear can easily be turned into excitement if you just breathe. And I even practiced this over the summer at an amusement park with my kids. I was on a roller coaster, and right at the part where you feel the most butterflies in your tummy, I took a deep breath. And I told my daughter, I taught all my kids to do this, and they were absolutely amazed that they did not feel the butterflies in their tummy when they took a deep breath at the moment of most intensity. It's really cool. So you can use that tip on roller coasters, and you can use this tip on an airplane if you start to feel nervous and the butterflies in your tummy. And then my last tip, number 5, is to bring your essential oils and your crystals. I have a little set of crystals that I purchased on Amazon. I'll put the link below if you'd like to purchase this. It's a collection of crystals that do help with anxiety and stress. So I'll bring these crystals along, and I'm going to bring my own little blend of essential oils that help with anxiety. I just Googled it. I love essential oils, so I have a huge collection of essential oils. So I'm going to create my own blend for this flight, and I'm going to use Lang Lang, Sweet Orange, Bergamot, Geranium, and Lavender. So I'm going to create my own little blend. I'm going to have it with me. I'm going to have my crystals. I'm going to have my affirmations. I'm going to have my headphones. Going to practice my meditation and stay busy, and everything is going to be great. Smooth ride, just a little roller coaster here and there. Nothing to be afraid of. Thank you for watching my video, and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos of our upcoming vacation to Hawaii. Have a great vacation, you guys, whoever's going on a trip and you're watching this video because you're trying to prepare yourself for your vacation. Remember that you can overcome this fear and you can travel the world and enjoy your life. So have fun, you guys. Love ya. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you soon.